Which, by the way, we're going to take a poll, including the peanut gallery, to see if Boss does talk more than me. I swear to you, he swears that I talk. He won't stop talking.
Does that make sense? 20,000 words over 7,000 words?
Men talk about things in facts.
They try to have their facts, but sometimes the facts don't be facting.
That sounds crazy.
Toddlers, they talk the most.
Boss will hit me with, I'm coming from a space of logic, and I'm thinking, did you just call me illogical?
I spend so much time talking to my clients about the importance of proper nutrition outside of the gym. And the number one area of struggle is not getting enough protein. So Boss and Kevin developed Vita Hustle 1 superfoods for this very reason. This plant-based blend contains 86 superfood ingredients that support muscle recovery and overall well-being. It's not just about what you do in the gym, it's also about how you fuel your body. So try Vita Hustle 1 superfood in vanilla bean, dark cocoa, which is my fave, or superfood greens in the popular berry flavor. Use code MEAGAIN for 15% off your first order.
Hey y'all, it is me again, Dominique, and my girl Naisha. We're back with another episode of Me Again, and we just let's do a little check-in. So a few episodes back, we discussed what we were gonna do to change our morning routines, focus on ourselves, focus on me again. Let me know where you're at with that. Where you at? You had 3 things that you were gonna be doing.
Yes, I said my morning when the mindfulness, my diet. It's the mom brain. I forgot the third one. Oh, reading.
What?
Oh,
reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the mom reading. Diet is going well. I actually locked in. I am legit vegetables and protein right now. I'm just trying to get my body right, cleanse it a little bit. So that's going good. My mantras, I'm killing it every morning. What about you?
What about the reading?
The reading, I could do better. Let me know, ask me next week.
Okay.
Ask me next week.
Okay, so I was, I had fitness.
Yes.
I had
the morning
relationship,
mantra.
Date night, and my morning mantra thing. So my fitness has been actually, I guess I'm doing well with that, but the only thing is managing with my schedule to get the time in, to get a solid workout in is tough. But last night I put the kids down, went back, just did 20 minutes incline walk.
Oh, good.
Got it in, got a good cardio in. So I am focused on that. The morning mantra, the morning intention has been significant, a huge change. So I'm ode to you because it really has changed my outlook throughout the day. Yesterday morning was a tough morning for Knox and I just realized it just completely translated throughout the rest of the day. So when I start and it's a positive morning, it's going into a good routine, I notice how it just translates throughout the rest of my day. So that's been actually really great. And then trying to focus on date nights. Saturday, my parents are taking Knox and Cade, so it'll just be cruise. So Boss and I are going to go on a date.
Nice.
And so that, we're getting there. We're doing our thing.
That's exciting. Where are you guys going to go?
I don't know. But I do have a bunch of things on my date night folder on Instagram that I want to go to, which reminds me, have you been getting out the house?
Actually, for the first time this weekend, I actually really left and I had a nice day out. We went to Lake Balboa. Have you ever been?
Okay, so I've actually never been, which is shocking.
Really? Oh no, you gotta take them because it's a huge park, and they have a playground. They have 2 different playgrounds. They have for the smaller kids and the big kids, and it's a huge lake.
Okay.
It just gives me a little bit of anxiety because it has nothing guarded, and my son loves there's a lot of ducks and stuff like that. So he was on the rim, and I'm back up, you're too close, just move back a little bit. And there were people fishing there, it's a lot going on. But it's a beautiful, park, and it's just, whew.
Peaceful.
Peaceful, very peaceful.
That's the thing is like I have heard so much about it, and I know that they're doing baseball and soccer. It's huge. Like Balboa Park
it's
is
huge.
huge in general.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, I haven't been, but I will put that on my list.
Put it on your
but
list.
I want to know: have you been out on the scene?
No.
Have you and your man's gone out on the scene?
No, not recently. No, not really.
Girl, you just moved to LA, so this is going to be your next task.
Okay.
We need to get you out. So let's create some sort of list of where nature's going to be going.
Okay,
for
we got
date
it. Let's do
nights.
it.
Are you with that?
I'm with it.
Okay, so speaking of, this is actually funny, something I just came across. Apparently, there's a list going on social media that here's a list of places women absolutely refuse to go on a first date.
Oh, shoot.
And
I know
thank
this is
you
gonna be
to the
interesting.
ladies who reached out to me to help me on my list. Here's the list. 28 things that women apparently are not wanting to do. 1, Cheesecake Factory. 2, Applebee's. 3, Chili's. 4, Chipotle. 5, Olive Garden. 6, the movies. 7, Your House. 8, any fast food chain. 9, Buffalo Wild Wings. 10, Wingstop. 11, Red Lobster. 12, a buffet. 13, IHOP. 14, Denny's. 15, the gym. 16, church. 17, Starbucks. 18, any coffee date. 19, ice cream dates. 20, family functions. 21, movie night, Netflix, Hulu, and etc. 22, somewhere that requires a long drive. 23, bowling. 24, nightclubs. 25, hookah bar. 26, a bar just for drinks. 27, Waffle House. And 28, sports events.
Who the fuck made that up? Who made that up? What, we gotta go to Mastros all the time? I don't understand.
This is the modern day woman.
Yeah, no, not me. I want to go all those places. Take me all those places.
Let me tell you something. This is why women lose. By the way, if this was on my list, my husband and I would not be in a relationship right now. We used to love going bowling. We used to go to hookah bar all the time, Hollywood hookah. I would send you there if we were like 21, but that's not going to be on your date. That's not going to be on your date night. But I feel like modern day, imagine just hitting a quick first date at a coffee shop in case you don't like the guy. That's like perfect.
I feel like that these are normal. Listen, we used to live in Red Lobster. Cheesecake Factory, the shrimp chicken jambalaya pasta. I love it.
Miso salmon.
I have like, I'm tasting it now. What? They're crazy. Honestly, the expectations are insane.
So my question is like, what are women really wanting out of a first date? What are they really wanting out of a man? These are just like normal, typical behaviors. They're wanting to be wined and dined, and they want to go shopping or something. To me, that's my stereotype.
That's what I think, and I feel like the first date is really just getting to know you. And if you do this extravagant thing, it's not going to be special.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, then you're going to be, oh no, we got to re-ramp that list because that is insane.
Women are picky. It's terrible. I mean, I do not agree with this, for the record.
I do not
This list of places women absolutely refuse to go on a date sounds insane. Women as a whole, we need to check ourselves. It sounds nuts.
It sounds insane.
Oh my God.
We need to be a little bit more appreciative and grateful because we are so ungrateful.
Right.
And that list shows.
It's a hot mess.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which leads me into today's topic, the stereotype. Do women talk more than men? Clearly, we got a lot on our minds.
We sure do.
So what do you think? Do you talk more than your partner?
I sure do. He just went away this weekend, too. He went away from like Thursday to Monday night. And when he got home, I couldn't shut the fuck up. I was like, and he was just quiet. And I kept saying, as I'm speaking to him, I kept saying, I know I keep talking, but I have this to say. I know I keep talking because I felt like I was just in the house and I was just, with my kid. It's like, I haven't seen you. So now I'm just rambling. So at times I can be the talker for sure.
Okay. I am the opposite.
Yeah?
Okay. Which, by the way, we're going to take a poll, including the peanut gallery,
Yes.
to see if boss does talk more than me. I swear to you, he swears that I talk. He won't stop talking. So he has moments where, okay, if it's about emotional things like, hey, I need to check in with you on this, he doesn't want to talk. But girl, when he wants to put something in perspective,
Oh, they don't shut the fuck up.
he just yaps nonstop. And I'm like, but then he'll hit me with, can I just get this out? I'm like, you're joking. You've been talking for 20 minutes straight. So for me, it's so funny because in our home, I feel like he definitely talks more than I do, especially now, like I'm in a place where I just want a little bit more peace and quiet. He likes to talk, but about things that he wants to talk about. So when he has something that he wants to talk about, he won't stop. If it's something like I need to come to him about emotions or something I'm going through, he's like, all right, girl, I've had enough.
It's the roles reversed.
Right.
Roles reversed. Sounds like my father. What? My father is the quietest man on earth.
Oh.
But when he got something to say, he don't shut up. Like, it's like hours he could just talk. And then there'll be times where he's like completely quiet. Whew.
Oh my God. So, okay, so let's go into this. So this was a study where myths and why they, I don't know what this says. So anyways, so this was a study. It says that men's goals in using language tend to be instrumental, about getting things done, whereas women's tend to be interpersonal and relational, about making connections with other people.
Which I think it is.
Okay. Men talk about things in facts.
Which I think they try. They try to have their facts, but sometimes the facts don't be facting.
Boss will hit me with, I'm coming from a space of logic, and I'm thinking, did you just call me illogical? Unlogical?
Oh, my favorite is,
What's the word?
you're not looking at the reality. What the fuck am I looking at? Am I in Delulu land?
Not reality.
The reality. But I am in my reality. This is my reality. Yeah.
And so to talk about like the healthiness of that in a relationship, I feel like I always tell him like, you can't disregard the space that I'm coming from, right? My emotional space, this is how I'm feeling. You can't change that. So let's address with what we're working with right now, because when he comes to me with something, that's his reality, and I need to be in that space with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You need to accept it.
Right.
Where he's coming from and accept what he's saying as well.
Men don't want to do that. If they feel like it's an emotional statement, checked out.
Checked out because it's not reality.
Right.
It's not logical. It's not, solution based.
Right. So how communication styles differ between men and women. Here's a few things. Women, we build off discussion points. We want to talk about the details, results, and consequences of solutions. Offer their help as a sign of care for the individual. Utilize conversational processing as a way to build relationships. Are detailed oriented, strive for teamwork, bring harmony, balance. Men one-up one another with competitive stories. Focus on statistics. Value leadership. Believe asking for help might indicate an inability to achieve. Are goal-oriented, strive for problem solving, and bring the pile driver, whatever that means. But this was in a study. So I actually feel like, what do you feel like you can take away so that we can actually converse more harmoniously between men and women in our relationships?
What do you mean by take away?
So, for example, my thing is, my husband helps me tremendously because it's like, I know when I come to him, there's a solution.
Okay.
He wants to talk about a solution. And so knowing that that's where his mindset is helps me to kind of convey my feelings or whatever I'm trying to convey to him more concise, and we're on the same page. Whereas before, it would be like a rambling of emotions over here, and then he's like trying to give me the solution, and I'm like, no, you're not getting it. And it becomes like a nagging situation. Whereas now that I'm able to understand, like, yo, I'm coming to him, and I should be able to expect that the way his mind processes is that he's looking to give me the solution or problem solve. You know what I mean? And be on to the next thing. And it just helps tremendously in our kind of nucleus of communication that we have going on. And it should be the vice versa, right? It should be him also knowing that sometimes I just need that emotional support. But that's kind of what I've taken away throughout our relationship, is just knowing like this is where he's at and this is where I'm at.
I think I was training a client the other day, and you just like popped a light bulb in my brain. And she said she was reading a book. I forget the book. I'll let y'all know. I forget. But basically the book just says, mind your own business, right? Worry about what you're doing, not what the other human is doing. So I feel like doing that in the sense of like, well, he's not doing this and he's not doing that. Well, he looks at it like this. I feel like then that instantly creates like the stress, yeah, where it is like it's being elongated out and it really doesn't need to. I think it really goes down to learning your spouse, learning each other, accepting who you are. You know, boss is a solution-oriented human, so you know that. You know what you're going to get from it. So it's like understanding it, owning, like having him own who he is, using it like his superpower, and kind of like meshing yourselves together, like in a sense. Like for me, I feel like on my end, I feel like I'm more of a, I kind of am a little bit of a solution-based human. I always have an answer for everything. Like if something's going wrong, this is how we can solve it. So I feel like I'm on that end of the spectrum where sometimes like my boyfriend's like, no, like you're not seeing it you're not hearing what I'm saying because you're just trying to find an answer. So it's like trying to get down to that level of I may be this way, but let me shut down and let me listen a little bit more and then kind of mesh. Because I feel like you have superpowers, like, you know, the solution base is a superpower, but also, you know, coming from like more emotions and feelings, that is also like important because that is a big part of us. If we're not emotionally supported or we don't feel emotionally supported, it kind of trickles down to everything else. So I just feel like a whole rounded understanding of one another and being able to like come together and use each other for what we're good at, in a sense.
I totally agree.
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
you couldn't have said it better. It's like that's been something that Boss and I have had to work on, is like I need my outlet and I need my emotional support, because I appreciate your solution, your problem solving, but there has to be that balance, because as a woman, that's how I operate.
Yeah.
And we need that from one another. You know what I mean? He needs my emotional support and me to hold it down and be the pillar of rest at home. But then I also need him sometimes to be like, yo, babe, let's hit this in a logical fashion and boom, boom, boom. And this is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And so I think we're just continuously striving to get that balance. But I do want it to go on the record that he does talk more than me.
You hear that, boss?
He does talk more than me.
Because I'm going to say, a little birdie this morning said he does not.
Don't make me get a poll going on. Okay, so I can't stand using plastic water bottles. Path is the first refillable and 100% recyclable bottled water packaged in a sleek and sturdy aluminum container, which I love. They make it easy for our family to feel good about making a positive impact on the environment, including our kids. Also, their bottles are fully customizable. There's this one particular limited edition Path water bottle featuring the Ninja Turtle characters. My boys absolutely love it. They actually fight over who gets to have it, and it's just a great way to teach them and the next generation the importance of reuse. And you can create your own custom Path water bottle for your next event. I was actually just thinking about it. I wish for all of our 3 gender reveals that we were able to have a team girl or team boy water bottle for the party. Of course, it would have been all team boys. But so visit drinkpathwater.com to check out the coolest designs and to create your own today. So the Peanut Gallery has a little TikTok that they want to play us. So let's see what they got.
Yeah, so this is just not true. There is a remarkably stubborn myth that women talk more than men, and even that women use 3 times as many words per day as men. This seems to have gotten its start and been perpetuated in a cluster of like self-help and relationship type books, and it's really just taken on a life of its own from there. I don't think this is what this commenter is doing, but it's usually just used as a way to say that like women talk too much and are annoying to men. There have been a bunch of studies on this, and pretty much none of them show that women use more words per day than men do in any significant way. A lot of these studies show men using more words per day, but again, it's usually statistically negligible. Sometimes they show women talking more, but again, not in a statistically significant way. What does seem to maybe be true is that men and women speak up in different contexts. Maybe men speak more in large groups or in public settings, and also that they tend to talk about different topics with each other. But yeah, the idea that women use many more words per day than men do is not backed up by anything.
All right, shout out to Eleanor Stern for that. What'd you think, Naisha?
I agree. I don't think we talk more. I think it is a myth because I feel like, like how she said, in certain settings, like I feel like in a big group, it's a little bit, you will see like men talking a lot more and women tend to be on the quieter side. And when they're by themselves and it's maybe like a more intimate setting, maybe they're talking a little bit more, but I think that it definitely is a myth. I don't think that I think that we got a lot to say, but men got a lot to say, and they don't believe that they do, but they sure do.
So I also agree, because especially if you're in a relationship, if you're out in a group setting with other peers and relationship people, then you're going to be a little bit more meek when your husband's there out of respect for him. Now, some women, on the other hand, want to chat. But the way my dynamic is, I'm always going to let him have the floor more than, myself. And also, I think it's a stereotype, or there's been like this little storyline where men are irritated with women speaking, and so that comes out as like, you're just talking too much, when really they don't want to deal or hear with what we got to say.
That's essentially what it is. They could just say that I'm not interested, because it's not, don't make me feel like I'm just annoying and I'm talking too much. You're just not interested in what I'm interested in. Just like I don't be interested in everything that you're interested in, because we're different and it's okay.
And by the way, sit any man down with other men and put sports on, or put some business, or have a business conversation. That conversation will go for hours.
It can last for hours. But then you could put girls in a room and put things that we're interested in.
Right.
We gonna chit chat in the third. About what that person was doing, what we seen on this, what we seen on that, and how whatever we're doing at that point in life.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I think it's just, it just depends. But I do think that it's an interesting topic, because I feel like the more that women and men can get to understand each other better, and in your personal relationships, having more of that emotional intimacy will probably lead to intimacy and other physical intimacy, you know what I mean? Like where there's more of a closeness and understanding of each other, a better, stronger bond between each other. So, I'm not mad at it. I would like a little pillow talk. I would like a little, casual conversation here and there, so I can really like dive into like what I'm feeling in a day. But you just take what you can get.
No, 1,000%. But I think you hit a nail on the head. I think it's really, and I feel like I stress this a lot in my own life. It's just understanding each other. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not you, you're not me. I don't want to be you. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to be me. I want to have my own lane. I feel like I kind of fell into that trap of like, you become a little submissive to your man, yeah. And I got into a relationship at 18 years old, so I don't know no better. I'm coming from my house, and my father's a pretty strong man as well. So it's like, it's easy to kind of be a little bit more, but no, and fall underneath. No, you want to be your own human. Understand me. I want you to understand. I want to understand you. And then we can take what we got and like bring it together even stronger, I
totally agree. Okay, so for the record, according to my girl, Eleanor Stern, thank you for this, it is a myth and was not backed up that women say $20,000, damn. No, I'm talking, you see what's on my mind. That women speak 20,000 words a day, whereas men only speak 7,000 words a day. That sounds crazy. Absolutely nuts.
And it's funny because when somebody reads that and they see it on social media, it's gold. But if you really think about it, does that really make sense? Does that make sense? 20,000 words over 7,000 words? Come on. Man, if you just say like 10 versus 7, but like 20?
Yeah, that sounds nuts. $20,000 damn.
Come on,
I really want some coins over here.
Is your hand itchy?
20,000 words a day just seems a lot. I would actually be interested to let's try and get Peanut Gallery, if we can get the actual facts of like how many words the average person does speak in a day. That would be incredible. 2, I feel like the ultimate word taker is my son Knox. In a day, he won't stop talking, which is why I know there's no way I'm making 20,000 words a day. I almost said dollars again. Anyways, that's hilarious. Okay, we got it. Dang,
Yeah,
that was
there
quick.
you go.
The
That's-
average person, 7,000 words a day.
Oh, wow. See? I mean, it was some type of truth, but they tried to make them women seem like we just annoying. That's essentially what it was.
Oh my God.
But I would say I have a new one, and it's not a myth, and it's not backed up either. Toddlers, they talk the most. Cause my son, he don't shut up. Like, it's just like from the moment he gets home from school, from the moment he wakes up in the morning, before he even gets out of bed. Good morning, mommy. Is that you?
And without the inside voice, that's what I'm working on right now.
Inside voice.
But you admitted he got it from you, girl.
Yeah.
Because if you're chatting, it's the New York in you.
Yeah.
It's the chattery of the New York vibes. I'm into it. All right, guys. Okay, so this is pretty funny. So now that we've established that women aren't the over talkers, okay, a couple tips that I would say have worked for me as far as like communicating with my significant other would be, 1, to know when is the right time to talk. It's not the best time to talk when he's been gone since 3:30 a.m. and now it's 8 o'clock and I just got to get something off my chest. So I've learned like, okay, this is a good calm time, a moment when he's not so stressed, like to have communication, you know what I mean? And then also I would say to doing that work for both parties, like husbands and wives or boyfriends and girlfriends, to do that work as far as knowing, okay, he's coming from this solution-based space. So if I'm not ready to necessarily hear the solution, then maybe it's not the best conversation to have. But then also to know that sometimes he has to know where I'm coming from and what I'm looking for, that he may need to just offer me emotional support. And it's easy lifting for him because he doesn't need to offer the solution. You know what I mean? It just needs a little console and hug and snuggle, and then we move on about our day. So those would be my 2 tips that have just worked in my relationship as far as our communication. What do you think?
I agree. I feel like I'm a piggyback. I feel like for me, what I've been working on personally on my own relationship is it kind of goes like when to talk, because like if we're like I'll over talk. Like if he brings something to me, right, and it's like I get defensive about it because it's like it's not that way. You may see it that way, but that's not internally how I view it. Now I'm trying to like talk too much and like over talk, and it's not about him and his problem anymore. It's about like why that's not the problem. I feel like that is like what I'm working on, and it's by all means when you realize that and you take the accountability, because I feel like a lot of the women around me, I feel like have done it, like in the sense of like, oh, my man told me this, and that's not, but we're not listening to him and where he's coming from. Just like vice versa, I would want him to look at where I'm coming from. So I would say just shutting up sometimes and listening, and not trying to like solve everything or find the best answer or, try to defend myself in the moment because it's where he's coming from. And then for me, it's also talking about something that like, because I feel like I also not hide it, but like I kind of suppress a lot of the feelings in a sense. So when they do come out, it's like too much. So I feel like for me, it's about like, right now I felt this type of way. This may not be the right time, but don't let me forget. Because we do have to talk about it, but in a way of like a positive way, so that it's not like a jumble of stuff that I'm speaking about, and it's kind of like just talking and not
2 things.
holding it.
That's really dope that you acknowledge that, because women are not willing to acknowledge that.
Oh, the
they get
defensiveness?
defensive.
Oh, I get defensive, and it's bad sometimes.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Second thing, have you heard about the note feature on your phone? Girl, just save it for later. You just put that in your notes. Save it for
That's
later.
a good one. No, that's a good one.
That's my thing. The note feature is going to help you out, girl. You put it out, and then, by the way, sometimes you might go back and say, it's not worth it. I'll just delete it.
Like I was a little too emotional. It really wasn't that big of a deal.
Yes.
I'll save it for
Yes,
another
girl.
day. Well, I'll just delete it because it's not needed. Because sometimes
works
we
for
do
me.
overreact, and that's a good idea actually. Because once you kind of write it all down and you look back at it, you might say to yourself like, "Oh yeah, that was."
Yeah, girl, send the message to yourself and then see if it's worthy later. That's all you got to do.
I'm gonna try it. I'll let you know how it goes.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Me Again. A few things. We want you guys to hit the hotline. The first one is let us know about that list. Where are you willing to go on a first date? Where are you not willing to go on a first date? I'm interested to know if that list is legit or not. We're both interested to know. Secondly, send us a few of your tips and tricks on how you're doing with your communication style in your relationship. And also, do you speak more than your husband? Are you hitting 20,000 words a day? Let us know. Send us in. Hit the hotline, and we want to share it and discuss it. So we'll see y'all next time.